Good morning, guys, and I hope you had a happy Easter yesterday. I know we did. It was a fantastic day. Uh, we went to church, had breakfast there, and and then we had a great service. The kids put on a tremendous play, and I gotta say, I was moved. I was moved to tears yesterday during church. I I just felt such a strong presence of Jesus, of God, of spirituality. I mean, it was just, I mean, the church was packed. It was packed. It hasn't been packed for probably 2 years. And it was packed yesterday. We actually had to get out more chairs. And I tell you what, I mean, yeah, it was, I mean, there's no question that God is moving within this country and the world. You know, it's there's a great video out, and go to BitChute. It's on Dr. Charlie Ward's channel, and it's called "Incredible Genius: President Donald J. Trump." And it's only 5 minutes long, and it lets you know, it's like, we don't know who really are the good people and the bad people. We just don't know, because this has been something that has been planned for so long, and these people, they're all playing a role. But there's no question that President Trump is coming back, that the military is going to act. I mean, it's just, it's a phenomenal thing. And God is moving around the world, not just in this country, but everywhere. And so, and you look at what's going on, like, for example, Major League Baseball removing the All-Star game from Atlanta. And you have Stacey Abrams who's pretending like, oh, I didn't, and then they just cut a deal with communist China. I mean, it is so blatant. These people, they couldn't play more into the hands of Trump and the military than they are. I mean, their stupidity doesn't even amaze me anymore. I'm not baffled by it anymore. I mean, I've gotten used to how moronic that they are. And people, they continue to wake up. I mean, here, I mean, I watched Ami Horowitz, I think is his name, and he did a video. He interviewed people in New York City. First, he interviewed some white people, and he asked him about voter ID. He says, do you think voter ID is racist? Yeah, it's racist. Absolutely. Well, why do you think so? Well, because blacks don't know how to get to the DMV. They don't know how to get a voter ID card or an ID. They don't know how to do any of that. I mean, and they don't have access to the internet. And so then he went and he interviewed some black people in New York City. And he asked them some questions, and he said, well, this is what some of the white people in this city are saying about you. And they go, what? Huh? They go, well, that's stupid. They're dumb. They're stupid. I mean to tell you, and for a long time, black people have said their biggest enemy is white liberals. And let me tell you what, I mean, I'm listening, as I was listening to these white people, I'm like, how can you live in New York City and not know this stuff? You know, like he asked one black guy, he goes, well, do you know where the DMV is? Well, yeah, it's right over there on 135th and 4th Street or something. Well, could you get there? Well, yeah, of course I could. I mean, it's just, anyway. So just hang in there. Everything we're seeing has been foretold. Everything we're seeing has been planned out. Let's go ahead and go with, I will not pretend anymore. I'm not going to pretend. In other words, they're not. This meme says, and it says, most of all, I will not pretend the government is acting in my best interests. And there's all these things here, you know, and it's just people are fed up with pretending that the government. It's like, no, there's no pretending anymore. No more. And they're not going to pretend about anything that they have our best interest in our. It's like And then this here, I don't know where this is at. They say Darbust. This is Salt Mountain, and it's in Darbust, Iowa. I don't know where that's at. I know I could look it up, but anyway, it's beautiful. Wow. And then this here, this is a Polish minister in Canada, and these people, the police come and try to disrupt service, and on the most holy day of all, and he says, get out, you Nazis, get out, you Gestapo, get out of this house, get out of this. And I tell you what, they left. They finally left. He says, you are not welcome here. And I tell you what, as it says here, remember, my fellow Americans, any law that contradicts the Constitution is inherently invalid, and you do not have to obey. You do not have to. Let's go ahead and speaking of Poland, Polish MP Dominik Czarnecki, and he says, basically, he says, we're not going to allow these immigrants into our country. We're not going to allow them to destroy this country. No way, no how. And then shortly after turning 18, Dr. Phil Guest and rapper Bad Babby makes 1 million selling porn pics on OnlyFans. It says the infamously trashy Dr. Phil Guest, Danielle Bregoli, who used her infamy to become successful rap artist Bad Baby, recently turned 18, and she is very predictably selling her body and raking in big bucks. As we're finding out, on the Evergreen ship, they found over 1,300 dead children, just over 1,200 alive. They found weapons. They found weapons of mass destruction that were going to be used to start a war in the Middle East. And I tell you what, it's becoming known more and more all over the world. Everything. And then U.S. Rep. Burgess Owens announces effort to stop discrimination of white farmers in USDA's $5 billion program only for non-white farmers. Talk about racist. Wow. I mean, holy cow. And then, let's see here. A Biden advisor is asked about the MLB boycott of Georgia. Her response is mind-boggling. And Stacey Abrams has been the least self-aware in the aftermath, claiming that she's not to blame despite clearly being to blame. Yeah, I mean, these people, they never take blame for anything, for nothing. And Biden advisor Cecilia Rouses tells Georgia's small businesses affected by Major League Baseball's decision to boycott workers at another place will benefit. It's like, here you have a city that is primarily black, and I mean, they are out to lunch. Holy cow. I mean, just phenomenal. And of course, Stacey Abrams she said, I'm not to blame for anything. I'm blameless. Wow. But once again, everything they do, it plays into the hands of Trump and the white hats. Everything. It's phenomenal. You didn't think they could be this stupid, but they really are. Let me see how much time I have left. I have enough time to finish here, I believe. UK Health Secretary summoned to High Court to justify reopening shops before restaurants. And what we're going to find, the Nuremberg trial, there's a lot of things that are going to come out. Things are going to be exposed like the deep state never wanted to have exposed. And then Amazon, Georgia voter law is effort to disenfranchise black people. Well, number one, you've got to show your ID to get a driver's license, to do all kinds of things. So why not to vote? And get this, over 70% or more of the blacks, they're all for voter ID. And then Hunter Biden, I'm 100% certain the DOJ will clear me of wrongdoing. Well, of course. That's because right now, they're in the back pocket of Daddy Joe. But a little while down the road, that may not be the case. And it won't be the case. And then American political groups are calling on the Biden administration to pursue a more reasonable Russia policy. No, look, they're not going to. These people were placed in a position to do but one thing, and that was to start a war with Russia. Is it going to happen? No. No, absolutely not. And then the inventor of test used for the V, to test for the V, says Fauci is not telling the truth. And he has an agenda. So that's his take on it. And, everyone has to make up their own mind as to what to do. And, it's, it's like everyone has to do their own research. Everyone has to make up their own mind as to what they want to do. That's what this country is all about. Anyway, that's all for now. God bless y'all. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, guys.